Good. Recording. We're live. Sweet.
Dorian, ready?
Everybody good? Sweet.
When you kind of went back, looked over, went over the film and everything. What was on second glance kind of your takeaways from your performance, especially there in the second half?
Mm-hmm. Obviously you're gonna have things every week you need to clean up. I think the biggest thing is as an offense, we played on time. Try to negate their rushes as much as possible. I think TJ only had one sack. He had a couple QB hits on me, but other than that, I think we played on time, both in the pass game and in the run game. Stuck with it. At times it's not going to be easy, especially going against a defense like that. So second half, getting a couple 3-and-outs. We're working to fix those this week, but ultimately I was happy with the game. So.
Dorian, I'm guessing you watched Joe Flacco growing up. What's
Yeah,
it like
I did.
now to have him in the room with you and as a sounding board and somebody else that you can talk to?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Anytime you can add experience, which is something as a rookie you need, it's a great thing. So him, PJ, AVP, Ashton, everybody in the quarterback room, they're helping me out a ton. He just got here. He's still learning way around the city, so I'm trying to help him out with that. But he's definitely helping me out on the football side of things for sure.
So what do you have to do, Dorian, to keep the momentum but maybe improve on your own game?
Yeah, man, I think it's just, looking back at what I did last Sunday, just like how I did week 4 is what I did good and then what I need to correct, and going out here on practice on Wednesday and going out there and correcting it. So I don't think there's any secret formula, just going out there, putting the work in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then going out there and making sure you're locked in on Sunday. So.
What have they shared with you in terms of, Joe's role as he comes in here? And, I'm sure his presence is a comfort to you, but you're also going to make sure that you're not, looking over your shoulder in any way?
As a competitor, I always want to get pushed by guys, so it doesn't really matter to me. They haven't let me know anything besides just get ready for this week and make sure you're the best prepared this week. So that's what I come in here to do on a week-to-week basis, and I plan to do that today. So.
How long did it take you to come down from that game?
Shoot, maybe 20 minutes after the game. My family was singing happy birthday to me in the family and friends section. So I got to kind of just more so focus on my birthday as a gift and more so the game. So.
What are you working on? What part of your game are you spending the most time trying to hone right now?
Yeah, I think just getting more and more comfortable with the game. This is a different style of playing in the NFL from college. So I think if I can just keep progressing with how I'm working with the offense, my reads, my timing with the receivers and running backs and tight ends, I think I'll be all right. But just working on whatever AVP or Coach Stefanski or Ashton has for me out there at practice today. So.
Saw the video of you on the sideline, kind of crouched down and real emotional. I guess where do you think that emotion came from?
Yeah, man, the work I put in Monday through Sunday or Monday through Saturday, and really since I've gotten here, think about all those times in Greenbrier, I wasn't getting any reps. You guys were all noticing me in the back, taking all those reps. Those reps have now helped me come this past Sunday and as well as the rest of the Sundays moving forward and being able to even put me in this position. So just realizing how far I've come and also, where I'm trying to be at, but just trying to appreciate the moment. I had talked to my mentor the day before, and just being able to take it all in is one of his biggest points, and so I think that's where all that emotion came from.
You used your legs the other day. Do you feel comfortable using that more in your mobility, getting out and making things happen?
Yeah, my job as quarterback is to get first downs and touchdowns. I know I have some pretty good legs under myself, so if I can be able to use those to get some first downs, keep the defense, like I said, on their toes, that's probably one of the worst things as a D coordinator when you got to go against a running quarterback and man coverage. So as much as I can try and help the team win, I'm going to do it. So.
Dorian, after the game, David was really critical of himself with the drop passes, but he made a huge catch on that final drive. But just what does that mean to you that, one of your teammates, holds himself accountable, and right after the game he runs home and he's calling coach on the jugs machine, working on his fundamentals.
Yeah, no, Dave, he called me too. He apologized. I'm like, brother, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to come back to you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the days of practice. So Dave's going to have a hell of a week this week. He's going to make a lot of catches this Sunday, and I'm excited for it. So.
It's going to be super cold in Denver. Are you bringing the big puffy black jacket?
I can't give the swag away just yet, but I'll definitely be nice and cozy before the game for sure.
What shoes are you wearing to the game?
Oh, here we go. We got a new guy on staff, huh? I don't know yet, man. I don't know yet. You know, I don't pick my outfits out too early in advance. You know.
Russell Wilson. What's it like for you to go up against Russell Wilson? I'm sure you've probably, maybe idolized him over the years. What are your thoughts on being on the same field with Russell?
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to lose fingers on how many guys I can count that I now have met prior to playing them, and now I get to play them. So you can add Russell to that list. He's been down to UCLA plenty of times. I was coached by one of his college coaches, Dana Bible, my first couple years in college. So I actually got to meet with him, do some Zoom meetings with him during COVID and stuff like that. So me and Russ have a pretty good relationship. But again, just another great opportunity. I'm so happy I get to go out there and play this week, play with my guys, get to do the same thing we did last week, and just go out there and have the ball. So.
Before Sunday's game, a lot of your teammates were saying that you were showing them that leadership that you wanted to exude, and you were even correcting them on some plays. You saw them out there on Sunday. You kind of got Kareem Hunt back in the mix on that final drive. How important has it been for you to focus on the mental part of the game, knowing, especially in those last 2 minutes, and where do you think you've grown in that area?
I mean, yeah, I think I said on Sunday, this is a responsibility. This isn't just I get to be the starting quarterback and everybody loves me and all this other stuff. So I got to come in, I got to work at it every day. The amount of detail and focus that needs to be able to be successful at this position, it's strenuous, it's tough, and all those things that you see on Sunday is because of the work that's put in throughout the week. So, I think I'm in a good spot. Definitely want to improve and making sure that I'm even better than last Sunday. But yeah, man, that's kind of what I look forward to when you're in those close, tight games, close, tight situations. You can be able to lock in, focus. That's when you're at your best and you make plays. So.
I'm sure the Steelers pass rush had plenty to do with it, but there was a bunch of short passes last week. Do you feel like the more you get comfortable, the more starts you have, that will expand and you'll be able to push it down the field more?
I mean, shoot, I hope so. But no, that's not in my control. I hope we can shoot as many passes as we can, as well as get the run game and Kareem and Jerome involved. But if I can throw a bubble for 5 yards and he takes it the distance, I don't think anybody would be mad at that. So, I'm here to control the game plan and making sure that I'm doing everything that Coach Stefanski wants. So.
Dorian, I know that this isn't in your control, but if you look at the top half of the league, pretty much every team in the top half of the league, other than the Browns, has their opening day starting quarterback, right? And your frame of reference is just here. You haven't played elsewhere professionally. But what is it about this room, this team, that has allowed for the fluidity at quarterback to not disrupt the success of the team?
Yeah, you take back to Greenbrier. I wish you guys were there to really see the meetings and the insides and outs of what we were doing there. But I think we got really close throughout that whole time we were those 8 days. And it's really shown now from the moments where you see guys pushing the pile to the defense always celebrate with each other after a play. I think that's kind of what it is. You just come closer as a team when moments get hard. And luckily we've been on the winning side of all those. So. I think that's what it is. I think it's just a really close team.
Do you have hope that this upcoming trip and staying out in LA can be similar to what you just talked about?
For sure. I mean, every week we're trying to go 1-0, and so we're focused on the Broncos this week and making sure that this is the best week of practice we've had this year, because all the weeks before it have been the best weeks up to that point. So if we can keep climbing, keep staying on the path we're on, I think we'll be all right come towards the end of the year.
So. You had about that bonding.
Oh, yeah.
Can this trip be, do you have hope that it can have a similar?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I know guys aren't really looking forward to staying in a hotel for a week again, but I think it would be really cool, really fun. Again, just getting everybody close in one space at one time, especially for a longer period of time, I think would be really healthy for the team.
That altitude, how do you prepare for it?
I played down in Boulder playing UC, so I've played down there plenty of times. But, I think just getting in the altitude room, getting some extra conditioning after practice, just kind of taking it upon yourself to make sure that you're in shape. So.
You got a lot going on this week. Would you allow yourself to think about being in Westwood next week as starting quarterback?
Oh, no. I don't think my teammates or any of my coaches will let me think that far ahead. So, but no, I know it's going to be a great time. I'm going to be able to see a bunch of people I know already, have obviously a bunch of familiarity being around UCLA and getting to use that practice facility and all the things that they have there. So, no, I'm super excited.
We've heard a lot about these 2-minute things, like practice periods you guys do every week. How much time do you spend on that, and how competitive are those periods?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 minute is everything. I mean, I've been working that with Coach Kelly since my freshman year of college. So the 2 minute thing, that comes with ease to me now. It was funny, I was texting with Coach Kelly after the game about how we only had a minute 18 left, and that felt like 5 minutes of the game. So, no, I'm super grateful for him, and as well as Coach Fancy. We work it here too. So it's such a big moment in the game. And for us to be able to come out on top, I think it shows what all the work we've done.
How much do you guys emphasize the thing, like getting that ball spotted with Ethan and like you?
Oh yeah,
you know,
everything.
Kareem,
Yeah, there's so much that goes into a 2 minute that people really don't realize. Whether you're outside the hash catching the ball and you need to get to the sideline, or you're inside the numbers, you need to hand it to the ref and stuff like that, or making sure that the ball actually gets to the ref. You don't want to drop it or anything. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it for sure.
Did Chip reach out to you?
Yeah. He reached out to me just saying good luck this week. Obviously, I said good luck with them playing SC, and then they handle business. So, and then yeah, we talked a little bit after the game.
Just a couple more.
Will you have him, or maybe Kevin has already done this, but will you guys have some encounter with Chip? Will he talk to the team? And what other plans do you have as, sort of the host for the week?
Oh man, that's a big responsibility right there, being the host in LA. But no, I don't know. I don't know what Coach Kelly has planned when we're down there. I know they'll have just finished up their regular season, so they'll be getting ready for bowl prep. I'm sure they'll be on break for that first week and stuff with finals. So I hope I get to see everybody. Like I said, they'll be coming off of Cal and getting that win. So I know they'll be in high spirits.
Who's that mentor?
Seth Mikowski. He's chess guy. Yeah.
Hey, Dorian, I know you said you're embracing having Joe here, but the Browns have just signed a quarterback who won a Super Bowl, who's thrown for 40,000 yards. How do you not let that be kind of a pressure to you or make you look over your shoulder?
Shoot, I mean, if y'all would have been inside my body to feel the pressure I felt when they were chanting my name, when I had everybody thinking about this game and the Steelers and how big of that rivalry was, Joe coming in here is more of a blessing than anything. Like I said, I'm asking him a bunch of questions. We were chopping it up a stuff ton this morning. He's in the early meetings with us, with me and PJ now. So it's great, man. He's fit in so well. And like I said, I've only known him for just about a day with him being here. So I love Joe. It's been awesome.
Real quick, that altitude, was that a big deal for your team when you were out there?
No, not really. I mean, shoot, I don't think in college we really had oxygen masks on the sideline. So at least here we have oxygen masks on the sideline for guys to be able to breathe and get air in. But no, it's never really been a struggle. I personally, honestly, don't notice it being a quarterback unless I take off and scramble. But I'm sure other guys won't really notice it. We have guys that work hard in the altitude room. So.
Thanks, Dorian.
Yep, thank you, guys.
What's up, you guys?
Practice.
Good morning. Yep. Just a little bit. Come on.
You guys, you've been around a long time, and you've seen teams here that they get in those late game situations. It hasn't gone the way it's gone for you guys this year. How does that mindset change? What goes into that mindset that where you flourished instead of kind of folded down the stretch?
Yeah. I feel like just the experience of being in that situation before. I feel like early on in the season we were in those situations and we weren't as clean as we wanted to be. Seahawks. Obviously the 49ers could have went, kind of wrong too. But I feel like just getting that experience, being in those situations and learning from them. And so when we're in that situation against those guys, we were able to execute, go out there, play fast, play our techniques.
You don't feel responsible for getting the offensive coordinator fired in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you know how the business is, man. We just kind of played our ball, man, and let those guys do their decisions, man. That's really how it is.
What do you see when you look at the Broncos? Kind of a slow start this season. but they start to turn around. What do you see from them?
Yeah, no, I see a really good team. They run the ball really well. Russell is definitely like, the whole team. I feel like these last 5 games have, it's kind of like a new team. Won their last 4. I tip our hats to those guys. The coaches and the players for turning it around. But like I said, man, when they got a good running team, Russell does a great job with the ball. Doesn't really turn it over. So we're gonna have to be cued in for all the stuff that they kind of do.
You talk about good running teams. What is it about you guys defensively that has allowed you to elevate the run game? Because for years here, like that was like top 3 thing you guys needed to do, and you guys just always seem to struggle against the run. But this year you guys have held your own.
Yeah, I would say scheme-wise. Obviously, like we've been talking about, this whole year, just kind of that attack front that we have, letting those guys hit their spots. I say, we got the best front 4 guys, man, in the league. So, just letting those guys do their thing, and letting us be behind them clean it up.
What about
Go ahead.
Okay, just with A-Lock going down, I know last year all the injuries you guys had, how equipped do you think you are to handle his absence? And I guess for you yourself, do you feel any pressure at this point when one of those other guys in that room goes down or anything like that?
Yeah, first off, just, sucks to see Walker go down, especially a leader, a captain on the team. Just a guy that, his presence is felt on and off the field, does everything right. For us guys behind him, we definitely learned a lot from him. But yeah, it's been playing this game for a long time, so grateful. Obviously, I never want to see guys go down, but I'm ready to play. It's kind of how it goes, and the rest of the room feels the same way. You know what I mean?
We're having the #1 defense now, pretty much all year long. Do you feel like there's pressure that comes with that on a weekly basis?
Yeah, we don't try to focus on it, but obviously, it's there for us to kind of talk about. But no pressure, man. I feel like if we continue to stay locked in on our cues and what we got going for the week, we could just go out there and play ball, play free. But definitely, man, we hear those we read those things, we hear those things. It's definitely cool to be in the position we are, but just keeping the main thing, and the main thing is to win. So that's kind of what keeps us locked in.
What's unique about Denver, and do they remind you of anybody you've played so far this year?
Yeah, Denver's a unique team. Obviously, they have the altitude stuff that they pride themselves on, and playing difficult in those areas. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Really good running team, man. I feel like they started off slow, but these last 5 games, like I said, man, especially the last 4 of them winning, they definitely stepped it up. They do a lot of similar things to a lot of teams that we played. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say they're just so, kind of like one team. You can nitpick, some stuff that other teams that we played earlier in the year, but not one specific team.
Can you imagine being on a defense that gave up 70 points in a game, and now they're playing pretty good?
Yeah, no,
what
that's.
does that say about their defense?
Yeah, it's tip. Like I said, that's just a testament to the coaches and the players that's over there in the building, really turning it around, and playing good ball. These 4 winning streak. You know what I mean? That's some good football here late. The best time to make a stretch for it, run for it. So it's good for them.
What are you seeing from Russell during this hot streak, and particularly like the 4th quarter comeback?
Yeah, he just protects the ball really well. You know what I mean? They won some close games these last few weeks, and he's just a guy that makes smart decisions. With the ball, and it's definitely going to just take what's there for him. A lot of checkdowns, but we just got to rally and just play our cues, play our game.
How do you get ready? You guys go against the offense, right, in those 2-minute drills. You see what they've been doing all season long. For you guys, what have you seen from that offense? How much have they tackled that and made that a point of emphasis for them in practice so they can execute in these game-winning drives?
To our offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy with those guys, man. DTR definitely, man, balled out that last drive, kind of put us in position to win the game. I just want to shed light on him. Obviously, he's been getting, you know what I mean? You guys see, his situation. Just really happy with them. Just a testament to the hard work, seeing them day in, day out, grinding at the tape, practice. But I would say just the hard work, that they put in every day, going through their reads, their cues, and then, it kind of shows on game time. So just really happy with them.
How do you prepare for that altitude out there?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you just got to be in shape all year. You know, just no matter where you play, you're going to be tired no matter what. So, you know, staying in shape, that's the thing. You know, hydration, doing all the right things leading up to it. But I would say it's no different than any other game. You know, a little bit more altitude, but you know, just being in shape, to be honest.
You guys have been so good on third down. What has changed there, and how much does Jim focus on that?
Yeah, no, I would say just, you know, scheming up teams really well. Don't want to get too much into it, but I feel like Jim just been, you know, calling a really good game, you know, just knowing what offenses are going to do and just being in the right position, to be honest.
What's Dalvin added to the front and then especially in the locker room?
Yeah, those big guys, man, like I said, I said we got the best front four, especially DT just coming over, being that stout middle guy that we need, especially in the run. And then the dude's been getting sacks lately, man. You know, he got a couple weeks ago, he got that 3-sack game. Just really exciting. And then in the locker room, man, guys, you know, a leader. It's good. You know, I feel like we have a lot of leaders on the D line that we got this offseason. So just really happy. You know, I'm happy he's on our team. Happy to play behind him.
Sione, a lot of guys, a lot of your teammates this season have talked about the bond that you guys have as a team.
Right.
Is this the tightest Browns team you've been on?
Yeah. You know, obviously, you know, you build relationships, you know, over the years, but definitely, you know, a lot of things, you know, especially that Greenbrier going out there was a smart, you know, thing that the team did for us to kind of bond. Helps us out later on in the season, but yeah, man, this team has definitely been close, especially, you know, being resilient, you know, these last few games, just, you know, kind of, you know, getting a little closer and pushing each other along.
And do you, I mentioned Greenbrier, you guys are going to be staying out in LA. Do you have a hope that can be a similar kind of experience for you guys?
Yeah. Just staying locked in. Obviously, it's kind of weird that, you know, the first time we're going to do this like 2-week trip thing, but just everybody's, you know, keeping the main thing. The main thing is we're there to work and keeping each other locked in.
Sione, are there any challenges to kind of going on a long road trip like this in the middle of the season? Like, you're going to be away from home for 9 days. You're not going to be in your own bed. Is that challenging to do in the middle of a year?
Yeah, a little different, but I think we'll handle it well. You know, we got a bunch of professionals on the team, and you know, the main thing is to go out there and compete and win. So we're going to keep that, you know, as the main goal.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thank you.
Number 15. Joe, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Do you think you'd be doing one of these again after the way last season ended?
Well, I kind of figured I probably would be the way last season ended, but you know, as I sat at home for most of this year, I was probably beginning to lose a little bit of faith in that. But
What brought you out and brought you here to Cleveland?
well, listen, I got a call from my agent, and they asked to come work out, and I said, all right, I'm going to come work out, and they said, all right, this is what we're going to do, and I just kind of nodded my head along the whole way, and next thing you know, I'm here.
Joe, what do you kind of see as your role here now that you're here?
You know, I haven't really looked that much into it. I want to take it day by day, and you know, listen, I'm a veteran guy that's been around a lot at this point in the season with a team that's doing well. So I think there's a lot of different things that I can bring to the table. But I honestly just want to keep it day to day, and you know, focus on what I can. And right now, that's just kind of learning the offense and becoming a part of the team. So.
What do you think you got left?
Well, listen, I think when you start talking about that, you can talk till you're blue in the face and try to promote yourself or not or whatever it is. But, you know, however this ends up playing out, I think you can look back at the way I finished last game of the season last year. Not that, you know, we were able to win that game, but I definitely believe I can still play. And, you know, like I said, I'm focused on the day-to-day, and as long as I can do that, then whatever happens, I think that whatever my role ends up being and wherever this takes me, then I'll do my best at that.
Joe, do you try to put DTR Dorian at ease, knowing that he's got a Super Bowl winning quarterback behind him with all this experience that could potentially take his job?
I think he's got I've been there as a rookie, and you got so much going through your head, and you're worrying about little things, and I'm talking about focusing on the daily grind, and I think there's little things throughout the day that he's probably so focused on too, that the rest of it becomes kind of nonsense. And if you're able to just focus on that little thing that you're doing at that time, then that's the best way you can kind of keep focused and keep the task at hand, the most important. And it looks like he's doing that. So.
Joe, after all these years of facing the Cleveland Browns, and many of us were here for all of those games, how weird is it for you to be standing in front of orange footballs right now and wearing a Cleveland Browns sweatshirt?
Yeah, I think it would probably be a little bit different if I was, coming here 4 or 5 years ago. But having bounced around a few spots now, it's probably not quite as different. Teams change so much from year to year in this league. Coaches change, organizations change. So when you look back on it, it's really, they're so separate that there's probably a little bit of strangeness to it. But overall, like I said, you kind of come in here and you focus on meeting the new guys that are on your team, and it just feels like football, and that's the most important thing.
Joe, I remember covering a game in Baltimore. I think your wife was expecting that day.
That day.
And you went right after the game.
Yeah.
That child,
I had my
how
second.
old is it
He's
now?
10 years old. He's in 4th grade. Yeah, she had him at 11:32. Thank God she had him before the game. I didn't think it would affect me that much, to be honest with you, and I paced around that locker room until it happened. And, definitely a good thing that it happened before 1 o'clock.
Joe, I know you're looking for an opportunity, and this is the one that came about for you, but what have you gotten to know and appreciate about Coach Stefanski, Alex Van Pelt, the rest of the staff that made this a comfortable spot for you?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, even before I came and worked out here, Gary Kubiak gave me a call and just, had a lot of praise for these guys. And, I trust Gary's word. I was only with him 1 year, but very honest man, and so what he says goes, and definitely had a lot of good things to say about it. So I've seen that so far.
Well, how surprised were you, Joe, that you weren't on a team until this late in the season?
Well, I think, I have a lot of pride in myself, and I think, I think very surprised, at least early on and throughout the course of the off season. But, as the season kind of goes along, I think the surprise turns into other things, and you're not necessarily surprised anymore. And listen, I think also I've, this is my 16th year in a locker room. You've seen a million things, so to be super surprised by something, you're probably, you probably don't have your head in the right spot. You shouldn't be surprised by anything at this point.
What were you doing? After the Browns, you agreed to come here, then Joe Burrow goes down. Just wondering, I mean, did you start to have like any other phone calls or anything like that?
No, you don't even think about that stuff.
Okay.
You make a decision and you feel good about it, and really my decision was just some kind of opportunity, and I know I still want to play football, and anything close to being put in the locker room and given that opportunity, all the other things kind of go out the window at that point. You don't really look back.
What were you doing to stay in? Were you working out to stay in shape in case you did get a call?
Of course, yeah. Listen, I mean, working out so part of my life now, and throwing the football is so much fun. Now, listen, I mean, I haven't really been able to throw to like top speed targets, but I've been able to keep my arm in shape, and that stuff will come when you get out there and get with these guys.
Do you think the way that you played against them last year had any factor in them pursuing you for this position?
Who
More
knows?
touchdowns?
Who knows? I guess it doesn't hurt to go play well when you do have an opportunity to, but you never know how that's going to affect the future.
workout for the Browns, did they want to see how mobile it might be?
You have to ask them what they wanted to see. But I was excited to do it. I've never been through a workout since I came out of Delaware, so I was excited to get in there and do it. And I got to tell you, you want to go impress, so you feel a little bit of something when you're going out there and working out.
Joe,
like I'm sure everybody does. But it was cool, and it was a good workout.
Joe, sorry, 7-3 obviously speaks for itself in a lot of ways. But what are your impressions of the team, and what do you think it's capable of?
They seem like a very close group, and when you're sitting back at home on Sundays and you can watch all the games, and these AFC North games always tend to be good. So the Browns, they were probably on the TV screen a lot. And these guys have obviously really put it together on defense. They've run the ball consistently all year, even with losing out on best back in the league with Chubb. So it's been impressive to watch them kind of just continue to fight. And when you're here in the locker room, you hear about how close the team is from some of the guys that I know, and you can see it right away.
So Joe, is your 10-year-old, was he a Ravens fan, and is he now ready to switch allegiances and become a Browns fan?
Oh my gosh. Those guys were so young when I was in Baltimore. They're at an awesome age now to like really love football, and they like guys from all over the league, mostly receivers, and they love it. But yeah, my 10-year-old, probably all of them to a certain extent, but him especially. His Christmas list has like 50 Browns things on it, almost instantly. So. 4 boys and a girl.
Were they your low-speed targets while you were
yeah. Well, I was using a small ball in the front yard when throwing to those guys, so maybe not the best thing.
What's the oldest and youngest age?
My oldest is 11, my youngest is 5.
Well, where do you
Joe,
live?
you've had a really accomplished
Right outside of Philly, South Jersey.
Right. You've accomplished a lot in your career. You've thrown for 40,000 yards. You won the Super Bowl. Why do you still want to play?
I mean, to a certain extent, it's all I know. I still have a lot of fun doing it. I do feel like I have stuff left in the tank. So I owe it to myself to continue to push forward and try to play the game that I love. Until I really don't feel like I can do it anymore.
One of your best memories, the 31-30 victory over the Browns last year in Week 2. Can you just relive what that must have been like for you?
There's a ton of memories. To rank that one, I don't know where it would rank, but in terms of just how crazy it was and how unlikely, it was probably the craziest game that I've been a part of. And the finish, the locker room after that game, sorry guys, I mean it was another level. But it was week 2. I think these guys have a lot more to, we have a lot more to play for at this point in the season. 10 weeks in, 7-3, so this is when it really gets exciting.
I've been a number of cases of guys. Nick Foles comes to mind, who got in there just at the right time to lead his team to a Super Bowl. Did that cross your mind? With the Browns? I mean, I know that.
I'm sure it's crossed my family's mind. I mean, in my case, like I said, you really have to focus on the daily part of it and taking it day by day. And 5-6 days ago, that was coming out here and making sure that I could have the best workout that I've had. Now it's coming in here and grinding away and trying to learn the offense and listening to everything during the walkthroughs, and also becoming part of the team. Prove that I belong to be on the team. Go out to practice today, and when I throw the ball, make sure people see that I can still do it. And I mean my teammates. You want to be a part of the locker room for real, and I think that's the #1 goal when you first come onto a team.
How long does it take you to learn the offense here?
It depends. I mean, there is some familiarity with some of the verbiage that Kevin has and things like that, so it makes certain parts of it a little bit easier. And then, as you look at the whole offense and then you kind of pare it down to a game plan, that makes it a little bit easier also. So you can kind of like take whole and then breaking it down into a part, and you can get it pretty quickly.
Yeah, those Ravens teams you were part of, they won a lot of games. They were good in the clutch, in late game situations. What goes in the mindset of a team that makes them, that helps them succeed in those moments? Like this team.
You look back on those teams, and I think playing in this division and we always had a lot of tight games, and we lost some of them and we won some of them. But I mean, listen, so many good games. You try to tell people when I played against the Cleveland Browns, like. They went when there weren't a ton of wins here every year. There was a ton of really good games, and when you get used to playing the close games in the fourth quarter, where you're not just blowing people out, it really lends itself well to playing playoff football because you're going to face good defenses and good offenses, and sometime throughout the year you can kind of just go out there and beat up on a team and you win 35-15, and what are you getting out of that besides kind of getting your confidence going and everything like that. But when you can play tight games consistently, and when you can, when things are muddy, kind of like last week against the Steelers, you're not going to have clean games against those guys, no matter how you may feel you should do. I think those things all kind of help the mental part of it and the resilience of the team come late in the season.
How glad are you that you are on the same team as Miles Garrett now, as opposed to having to worry about.
Yeah, you know, you've lined up across from him, and now I get to see him in person. They always look a little bit more inviting and friendly when they're not in their when they're not in their uniform and helmet and shoulder pads. But yeah, he's a monster, and he's had a hell of a year. So definitely good to be on the same side as him.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.